Hello everybody, I'm SJM. Welcome back to Contained. It's been a few days, 3 days since I recorded last, although you wouldn't know it because we'll continue with the uploading schedule as normal for now. But I've discovered a little inconsistency in update B5.0. So if we take a look in the quest book here, down in Sindrath, I was looking at this earlier where you centrifuge magma cream. Well, apparently there is an add-on machine for the centrifuge that got removed in the latest update. So because it doesn't exist, we can't even see the recipe for it in here anymore. So I don't know what the plan is moving forward, if that add-on was removed so that the recipe could change. Ben didn't say anything specifically about it, but the way for now, if this still hasn't updated by the time you're seeing this episode and you're wondering how to move forward, we can buy loot bags and get slime balls this way. And we need a few because I believe, where is it? Yes, we need 5 of these refinery chamber modules, so we need at least 10 slime balls in order to do what I want to do today to get oil processed. So I will buy up some loot bags, probably one at a time because that's the kind of the way that I play. And when I have that, we'll move forward with the quest line. One other thing I discovered while I was puttering around doing not a lot was the smart crafting table can see all connected inventories. So even though like things like bone is over here, blaze rods, biosaplings, if I go in here, it can see that chest even though it's not directly connected to this smart crafting table. So if anybody's familiar with Tom's Simple Storage mod or the Simple Storage mod, not necessarily Tom's by itself, this works very similarly to that, except it doesn't have, I don't think there's any connectors and stuff for it. But I think we can just make a big array of chests and have this, as long as all the things are touching one way or the other. Like I actually started with this over here and did my testing that way. So like this dirt chest, which is full of dirt, by the way, I could see the dirt over here. So I imagine we could make big arrays and just be able to do that without having to keep things in our inventory. At any rate, I am going back to shopping and we'll be back when I have the required resources to start moving forward. Here, just like that, we got 10. We got a bunch of extra blaze powder, blaze rods, primal steel ingots, gray asteroid, which I don't need at all, so that was a bit of a whiff, but oh wait, this is gray asteroid, not light gray asteroid. Interesting. Alright, I guess I'll hold on to that for the moment. The other thing I did off camera was I was looking into integrated dynamics because it kind of dipped into it a little bit in the previous quest line here. So in the wood quest line, it came over this way and gave us all this stuff. So I was thinking maybe we have access to the integrated dynamic storage system. This was before I discovered this process here. But I came to discover after I started getting into it was that in here, oh, what is it? There is no crafting terminal. So if we look at the terminals, we can get a storage terminal, and a crafting job terminal, but no actual crafting terminal. So if we do end up with a big array of chests, we could probably do the integrated dynamics thing just to be able to pull things out easily without finding the specific chest it's in if we needed the actual physical object and not just to craft with it. But for general purpose, or for the main purpose, which I almost always use integrated dynamics for, having a central crafting mechanism, doesn't work in this pack. It's locked away. Well, it's not locked away, it's just completely deleted. But at any rate, we'll... Oh, I should probably... Let's grab a little bit of this. For anybody who knows integrated dynamics, you need a lot of this mineral chunks, and it doesn't produce very fast in the cloche. So I wanted to speed that up by using the squeezer and the drying basin, which we could make. It wasn't very hard, right? The squeezer just takes iron, a good amount of iron. The drying basin did take a couple of black dyes, but I could get that from pulverizing coal. So we were able to get those, and the normal mechanic is in the squeezer. You're going to put in the mineral log, and then you jump on the squeezer. And the squeezer goes down and it squeezes the juice out of the log. It goes into the drying basin and you can get dried mineral blocks that way. Obviously, that doesn't work here with the no gravity thing. So if you go up high enough, you can activate it a little bit, but you have to go much, much, much higher than I just did to get that, or to get it to go all the way down. The other thing that, if you're familiar with integrated dynamics, is you use an armor stand on this, and you drop the armor stand on it, and it will push it down. But I found that even 20 blocks up, this wasn't able to do it, and I've got one up here that's 35 blocks up. And this will do it. So if you wanted to get some mineral chunks, you can, or some mineral blocks a little bit quickly, you can do it that way. I don't know if 35 is the exact number, but it works up there. So it's more than 20, and I think it's more than 25, but I did 35 just to be safe. And the other thing to note is that even if I jump off of, and you need a redstone signal to reset it. But even if I jump off of this one that's 35 blocks high, I can't fully depress it, but it will work with the armor stand. I think I went up like 50 plus blocks before just falling actually compressed it in one shot. And because these jet boots are fairly slow to go up, that's a relatively slow and time consuming process to do that. See, doesn't even go all the way down, but the armor stand does do it in this 30 to 35 block range. So if you wanted to get some mineral that way, that is how you can do it earlier on. But later on, we're gonna have the powered one anyways, so that's how we'll do it later, is we'll have the powered squeezer. It's just out of our reach at this point right now because it requires diamond and obsidian. We can get the powered dryer, but that's that's not needed for what I wanted to do, I guess is what I was getting at there. Here, there we go, that's all the way. So I should have just everything we need to move forward with the quest line for today, which is the infusion quest line. We got our slime ball, so we got that one out of the way. So the first thing we're going to be doing is making the infusion altar and 8 pedestals. So the recipe for the altar is 2 yellow asteroid dust and a mysterious red asteroid dust. We need a block of coal and 3 stone. And then each of these infusion pedestals needs 2 yellow dust, 1 red dust, a silver ingot, and then 3 more stone. So 8 times 3 is 24, plus 3 more, 27. I think I got 27 stone in here, don't I? 45. Yes, I do. So we should be able to craft all this. Then for those who haven't used Mystical Agriculture, you put the altar down in the middle, and then you'll get a outline of where you're supposed to put each of these other pedestals. Oh, the other thing I forgot to get while I was out here was to pick up my button, because we do need a redstone signal to operate it. So we'll just make sure that we've got one down there beside that. Alright, so recipe for brown asteroid is infusion crafting. We need 4 black and 4 orange asteroid dust and a light gray asteroid in the middle. So black, orange, oh, I didn't get any of that. There we go. Now with infusion, you don't have to make the recipe exactly in the order that it shows here. Any order will do, just as long as you have the numbers right. And I guess the one thing that matters is the light gray asteroid in the middle. Every time you hit the button, you're going to get a doorbell sound too. That's just a thing. So it can be a little annoying, but that's what it is. And then just make sure you take this brown asteroid off of your hotbar after you craft the first one. So that when you go to pick up the other ones, it's not, because if I left that there, it's going to put this back down. Oh, no, it doesn't. Never mind me then. Wrong as I usually am. But anyways, we need a lot of this to move forward. So this is my life for the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. For you, that will go a little bit faster. We'll see you on the other side. Alright, so after you have your brown asteroid, we need to crush it up to get the dust. And then we're going to take the dust and run it through our sieve. Or sieves in this case, because I am now up to 3. Actually, I've only got 2 with meshes left in them, so we'll be doing that. And then out of this, we're going to start getting small gold dust. And then from there, we get the regular gold dust when you go 9 to 1. And you can start coming down this way. You're going to need to process, obviously, a lot more, so it might be worth investigating automations. So you could put a hopper onto each of the pedestals, so you'd need 9 hoppers, and you'd have to maybe make a redstone clock, and that could do some automation for you. Or you'd have to filter if you wanted to do it fully automated, but you could partially automate it with just hoppers. But what we're looking to get is the electrum. So 1 gold dust and 1 silver dust gets us 2 electrum dust, and we need electrum to move forward to get the refinery here. So we need 2 electrum to get the refinery, and we also needed electrum to get the foundry over here. And we needed the foundry to make this pump, because I don't know if this is fully intended or not, but this reinforced plating here requires steel, but the steel that we currently have access to, the primal steel, doesn't work for this recipe. We need the real steel. And the real steel can only be made by cooking the steel dust, which is made... Oh, goodness. Where is it? Alloying in the foundry, 1 iron and 1 coal dust will give us the real steel. And then we can finally get our pump. And then from the pump, we can go back to Sindrath and set it up with a power source and one of these portable tanks. These are absolutely massive. They hold 256 buckets worth. So it might be worth putting this down as soon as you can and letting it work while you do some other things. Because I also, when I was looking forward, the next portal, the Crystal Core portal, is made with the Sindrath portal frames. So you can either make 10 more of these portal frames, or you can cannibalize our current Sindrath portal, which means you won't have access to Sindrath anymore. And to be honest, once you've kind of made the dielectric, once you've made this mysterious oil block, you can create oil from oil drops. So you don't need it moving forward from there anyways. So just kind of what I was thinking there. So ended up with 32 there. I don't know if that's enough. Yeah, 3, so I can make 3 electrum dust. Or 6, sorry. I need 4 for sure right now, so I'm just going to hold off on going forward with any of that. We'll get this cooked up. And obviously off camera we'll be doing a whole bunch of grinding to get a bunch more gold so that we can actually go down this quest line, which is the next tier, I guess, of just Dire Things material, which is Blaze Gold. So if you put blocks of gold beside magmatic goo, or Blaze Bloom goo, I guess, is the name of it, then you'll get the Blaze Gold ore. That does get us the next tier of spacesuit, so that gets us up to like this looks like iron tier here, so this will probably get us up to about diamond-ish protection. And we also get this Blaze Jet wand, which says to drop in lava to fill, so I kind of want to test that out in itself, but at any rate, it would be nice to have something that can shoot us around a little bit faster when we're exploring, because the current state of exploration is kind of very, very slow, right? As you already should be well aware, even when you're quote-unquote sprinting. Alright, so we have Electrum now. That didn't give us any... No, we didn't get any valuable things there. Alright, so on our way down here, we're going to need these carbon fiber strands, which is made in the centrifuge. You just take some coal dust, put it in the centrifuge, and you should be good to go. I have that all prepared over here already. So that's 3 of those. And we need a industrial support beam. The recipe gives us 6 here, which is great because we need that. Oh, this is regular steel again, isn't it? It is. Alright, so I do have enough to make the foundry now. Did I save enough coal dust? I have 7. If I pulverize this stuff, do I get dust? No, it does not look like it. I would have to get a fragment forge. And there is a regular squeezing recipe. I could do that, but it's probably faster. It would be more time efficient to like if I wanted to multitask, to put it to get the black going this way, right? So I will do it. I will do it a mix of ways. But anyways, at any rate, this will be more busy work for me and flash in the pan for y'all. Alright, so the foundry itself needed 3 core blocks to be added to it before you could even make it. But at least it works fairly fast when we do get it started up here. So that's good news. Take the foundry off. We don't need that. We don't need that. So refinery is the next thing, but we need these refinery chamber modules first. And as I mentioned before, we need 3 to make the refinery itself, and it needs 2, at least 2 on top of it to hold all of the outputs that it's going to be making. Because we're going to get, when we start processing oil, we're going to get heavy oil, light naphtha, and sulfuric acid. So we need, like, the heavy oil will probably go into the main output, and then the other 2 will hold these other 2 outputs. So that is what we're looking at there. So, oh right, we need these refinery chamber modules. What am I missing for those? Oh, the support beam. Right. So I needed a recipe of that. The pump just needed 4. Okay, we should be able to make the pump as well. What am I missing from here? Oh, the plating. So I think I can afford the copper plating. I did make a stack and a half of copper to get going, and I only used a full stack of it so far, so I think the copper one's going to be a little bit more forgiving. Actually, iron's just too easy to make, I guess. It only takes 1 of the aforementioned anyways, but... Alright, so we're going to get our pump. And this can go here and there. Well, we'll use 5 of these making these refinery, right? So we need 5 of these. And that leaves us all of this stuff left over for doing the oil pumping, which we may as well go get set up right away. This will be a longer episode. obviously, and that's even without doing a lot of the other things. So this guy's almost full, so that's great. So we've got some backup power. I wanted to take the solar panel over to Sindrath, because I think it's going to be a little bit better / more efficient. Oh, I forgot to... Well, we don't need the refinery just yet, but... Oh, I'm missing something. I think I'm probably missing the motor. I have 3 chamber modules. I have 2 electrum. I know I have a cauldron. Right, I still have a I used my cauldron. That's what it is. I think I used the cauldron in the pump. No? Question mark? At any rate, we have that refinery. And then one leftover industrial support beam, which I don't know if I need right away, but we have it. I can dump this in here. I've got 1 bucket of oil here already, but we may as well... Oh, and I'm gonna need energy pipes just in case, right? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, I think we have everything we need to start pumping some oil, getting that Texas tea. It's up this way, right? Somewhere over here. Oh, I don't want that waypoint anyways. Alright, I'll bring you back when we get over there. Alright, oh, this is a great pit to start from. Right, how deep is her? Not huge by any stretch, but probably easily move it over this way if we needed to. Alright, power can go down right here. We'll get the battery hooked up right away so I can start getting some power. So I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work, if it exhausts the oil that's there and like the order that it does it in and all of that stuff. So I guess we're going to find out one way or the other, right? There we go. I just wanted some placement blocks here. So does power have to come in through here? And of course it needs... I broke my pickaxe, so we'll be back in a second. Just as a note, I guess I didn't think about it earlier, but we do have FTB utilities here. We really should have done this a lot earlier in the pack. Would have saved me from diving into the void to get back home quickly, but if we set home as our home here, then we can teleport there at any time that we want. Alright, it looks like we've already gone into night, so let's... Yeah, at least the pump's this way, so we can attach some energy pipes. wait, I forgot my wrench. But this is the joy of having sent home. That we can now come back nice and quickly. Oh, I did bring the wrench. That's, yeah. I knew about the wrench, but I was for the pumping the fluids, not the energy. And then back will take us to the last place that we teleported from. And while we're here, we'd better pass the night so that our actual solar panel can gather. Oh, yes, and there is a cooldown on it, so try not to spam it too much like I was just doing. Alright, it's getting oil. Perfect. Now, aha. That's what I thought. Won't automatically go in there, but put that down there and a fluid pipe like that, and we extract there. Alright, there we go. Alright, I don't see the US troops closing in, so I think operation successful. Oh, there was a scout just over there, but he didn't see our oil operation, so I think we're safe. Quick. Oh. Home. Like this. Yay. Oh, and I totally forgot to do one other thing. The other very important thing we have to remember to do while we're here. 3H? No. G, right? I didn't check my chunk borders first when I started putting this down, and I'm in 3 different chunks. Perfect. Just what I wanted. At any rate, we'll go into our chunks claims manager here, and we'll just do all 4 of these so that we know exactly what we got. But if I had been smarter, we might have put it over there, but I am not smart. Nobody can ever accuse me of that. 56 buckets of oil already, so that's quite fast to come along there. I'm going to grab a bucket of oil out of there so that we've got a couple to work with. And we can start checking out the refinery. So the refinery is going to need some blocks to work as well, it looks like. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. See, that's 8 minus 1 is 7, 8, 9. Okay. And what are those guys called again? So obviously it needs power. And then these go on top, question mark? Not 100% sure. 100% sure. Alright, so we're almost full on that guy as well. So let's bring some energy over this way, I guess. So we can pick up that oil. Looking at which side is vacant there, so oh, and that goes into the wall, so I have this oriented a little bit wrong. Let's place it down facing that way, and that doesn't work either. This way will work. We just have to get rid of this guy here. Okay, so this is the tank it's going to refine into. Is it getting power? Yeah, it's got all its power. Work this way. Does anything look obvious, like this is where the fluid output is supposed to come from? Or is it supposed to go on this side? That's a possibility. Yeah, let's try that. Refines fluids, place 2 additional refineable modules on top to be able to store all 3 outputs. That's why I was thinking on top, because I thought it had said something about that, so. So 1 bucket went to 1 bucket of heavy oil. See, this set looks like it goes into there, so let's get those 2. Let's grab that bucket. We don't need any of this anymore. That one, oh no, it didn't place correctly at all. That feels correct. No. Missing something. Yeah, it did say on top, but it wasn't kind of going up top. And that looks like a great big tank there. So is the oil... Oh, see, the heavy oil is in here. Yes. So then these guys should probably be... just doesn't look connected, right? Ah, idea. Does this need 5 more, 10 more blocks to work? I'm guessing that's the case. Yeah, I don't think we should need these pipes, right? And should these be on top here? So many questions and 0 answers. So yeah, at any rate, I guess I'm going to be troubleshooting this between episodes because we're getting a little bit long here today. Next time we'll come back and we'll go over the proper setup. I will watch somebody else do it properly. But I guess the main thing to get out of here is the light naphtha. And then we're going to make polymer resin, which gets us plastic sheets. And the tricky thing in the polymer resin recipe here is you never, ever, like you have to be so rich in naphtha to do this recipe, it's unbelievable. So 1 bucket or 1,000 millibuckets of light naphtha gets you 1 polymer resin with this recipe. But if you do it in the centrifuge, you put your naphtha, 100 millibuckets plus a sand gets you 2. So you're getting 20 times as much with this recipe here as with the crafting recipe. So, as I mentioned before, unless you're trying to burn all your light naphtha that you've ever seen in your life, don't do this recipe. Make sure you're doing it in the centrifuge with the sand. And of course, we get lots of red sand in the Cinderath, so that's not an issue. You just can dig up as much as that as you need. And the oil comes along very quickly as well, right? Like how much are we up to now? 56. So this was not working while we were away, even though I had it chunk loaded. Or was I just out of... was I working away? Was I chatting away during the night? Zero seconds. Perfectly timed. Ah, see? I see what happened. This has exhausted all of the oil that it could see. There's still some oil over there, so let's... if we connect that, does it connect? No, it doesn't look like it. Grab the pump. It places so weird. Anyway. grab this energy pipe. That should work fine there. One of those there. And here's the moment of truth. Does this portable tank, like, it better maintain its liquid? It does. Yes, okay. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to go anywhere because this will dry up immediately. Yeah. So yeah, no need to really chunk load anything unless you found a massive, massive well of oil, I guess. And then I guess in that sense, there's no even real need to have a battery unless you've got a massive amount of oil to pump up. But yeah, from here, I guess it's pretty straightforward. You just have to figure out how the... Ah, there's all that sand that I dug. I would just have to figure out how the extra add-ons for the refinery work. That's my only hiccup that I didn't anticipate in this episode. But on that note, that's it for this episode. I hope you all enjoyed. Just a note about the U.S. Army scouts that are out there. They're really, really blind compared to their vanilla counterparts. So they can only see you when you're within 10 blocks, I think it is, as opposed to 40 in vanilla. So you don't have to worry about them nearly as much. But if they do get close, they still shoot fireballs, and I do believe they destroy things. I don't know how tough the equipment is, but that's something we'll find out probably in a very bad manner, knowing my luck. At any rate, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I appreciate you all for checking it out, and we will see you in the next one. Bye!